Alright, I just want to say before you get started, make sure you pull your battery cables. They don't need anybody frying their car up. Also, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a guy who likes working on cars a little bit for fun and on the side. So take this information with a grain of salt. Maybe your equipment will be a little different. Alright, so I picked up this 89 T-Bird for a really screaming deal. But when I picked it up, I noticed there was A, the column shroud was missing, but B, there was just a ton of slop in the ignition. So I decided to pop it open and take a look, and sure as heck, it was junk inside. So I was looking for YouTube videos. They had a bunch for F-150s, but they didn't have any for the cars. Specifically the Lincoln, the Thunderbird, and I didn't really see much in the way of the Fox Body Mustang. And they all kind of work the same way. The first thing you need is obviously take your column shrouds off. Then what you're going to need is a T27 Torx bit. I didn't want to go buy a whole set. I'm kind of being cheap on this build, if you will. So what I did was I went to Lowe's and I bought one bit, which I will go ahead and show you the part number now. Then, after I got that bit, all I did was put it on a 1/4 inch wrench, 1/4 inch wrench, and I just put a piece of electrical tape just to hold it in place, just to get these things loose. I don't want to work harder, I want to work smarter. So that is my solution to get this thing out, because it's kind of tight, but I don't want to have to take off the whole half of the dash to get to it either. So let's see what we can do. Right there is one brass safety Torx head, and I guess some people call it anti-tamper Torx head, which is again why I had to buy this magical device. Anyway, you can see one, but one's a little further back. Right below it you'll see the wires and the big white plug. That's the ignition switch that I'm about ready to replace. Trying to stay out of the camera view here. It's a little easier if I turn the wheel. Now the problem with being a cheap ass is I don't get a ratcheting effect of this, but the first one is out. Let's go for the second one that's buried a little further back in here. Just gotta be patient with it. But I'll tell you what, while I work on this, it'll be 1 second for you. Okay, so here's my old one. The case is actually split apart and the contacts look pretty worn out. There's a spring in here, but I have a feeling some other stuff is missing because this is a lot lighter. And this one's got the Ford stamp. It's original to the car. Okay, here's the new piece. It's got this little clip on here. Now what this does is it keeps this thing here from sliding. You put your key in the stop position, not the accessory, not the start, not the run, the stop, and you bolt this in. And that little pin that goes in here from the key rod should fit perfectly. Once that's in, then you can pull this thing out with a pair of pliers. I'm going to go ahead and cut it to me putting this thing back in, and I'm going to send a link to the part number I got from O'Reilly's. Alright, let's go ahead and put this thing back in. I'm going to finger tight it first. Put them both up in the vicinity here. The The front one's a lot easier than the back one, for obvious reasons, but alright, let's let some time pass for you. Okay, now that it's connected, it's time to pull this little wire out that kept it locked in place. Then, go ahead and connect up your main ignition harness. Should just snap right into the new piece. After all, it can only go in one way, I think. Ooh, that is snug. Okay, time for the moment. Well, I just picked up this car like 2 days ago, so I've never had key on power with this thing. I've had headlights and stuff that don't require key on, but this will be my first chance to see key on. Oh snap, we have key on power. Sweet! Well, that concludes the video. Thanks for watching.